What's up, everybody? Rob Ferrari here, and that wasn't just a catchy title. Ferrari did roll back one of my Ferraris, actually the first Ferrari we ever had, and that was a long time ago, but I'll get to that story in a minute. First, let me explain to you why we're talking about Ferraris rolling back cars, because there was just an article, there's a lawsuit down in Florida, which I've touched on, which all has to do with a gentleman who got fired from a dealership, and they blamed him for rolling back a car as the reason for firing, and he said, "What are you talking about? We roll back cars all the time." That's the rough 10,000-foot view of what's going on. So essentially, a guy got fired from a Ferrari dealership, filed a lawsuit, then they had to hire him back, and then he's complaining that he wasn't treated right. But it's all circling around Ferrari and their ability and their knowledge of rolling back automobiles so that they're worth more money. So why would Ferrari do that? Now, I will instantly go on record as saying I have owned a lot of Ferraris as Gotham dream cars. Personally, at one point in time last year, I owned 4 Ferraris, 2 360s, a 430, and a 488. I since sold the 2 360s. However, you have to realize, rolling back a car, you don't bring it to a dealership and you're like, "You'll get the 30,000-mile service and a rollback, please." You can't do that. It's not, Ferraris don't offer rollback services, or dealerships that I've ever dealt with don't offer rollback services. And why do I say that with confidence? Because I ran a rental company. I was like ripe for the picking as far as dumping miles on these cars, and I would be the first guy to be like, "Hey, Rob, we could roll back that odometer for you." And that didn't happen. Why did that not happen? Because it takes a guy who wants his odometer rolled back to get the car rolled back. Now, why is that important? Because Ferrari did have to issue apparently some sort of serial number or some sort of key to reset the odometer to 0. That, and I think it was the DIES system or D system that they used to do that. And now they're removing that functionality. They sent out a memo in early 2017 saying you're not allowed to use that anymore. And then shortly thereafter, they rolled out an update that wiped that functionality from the system as not being needed. Now, as I said, it takes an owner to want to roll back a car. So the Ferrari's not just rolling them back when they come in for service. And Ferrari has a safeguard in place, which is it requires a key to reset it back to 0. There are legitimate reasons to reset an odometer, and the legal basis to reset it to 0 is when you don't know what that odometer reading was. Legally, you're supposed to reset it back to 0 instead of just guessing, and it's a state-dependent thing, or whatever it is. That is, I have read that is how it's supposed to happen. I would think at least go back to the last service or go back to the last time where you have an odometer reading and reset it back to there. And after you do that, you have to put a sticker in the door that says this car has been rolled back on this date at this time to this mileage for, I don't know if you need a reason on it. But the reasons for odometer rollbacks are simple. And it's, if an odometer goes bad, if somebody has bigger wheels on the car or smaller wheels causing the reading to be incorrect, the odometer rollback service is gray area legal because it makes sense. Now, that requires a truthful owner. What is it really used for? It's really used for people that went over on their lease mileage that don't want to pay. It's always something having to do with somebody trying to put money in their pocket. Now, for you to say, screw that Ferrari guy, screw that Lamborghini guy for wanting to make more money out of his car, he's no worse than the guy who's going back to save $800 on his turn-in or $5,000 on turning in his lease over mileage that rolls it back. You're all equally as guilty. And the odometer rollback space is mostly, it's a volume business, is mostly people that want to roll back their odometer so they don't get caught by the manufacturer and get billed for additional miles. But I've said it in the past, it's my estimation that at least half of all exotic cars are rolled back. Half. And the reason because that exists is because it amps up the volume, because people are willing to spend more for low-mile cars. That's why I always said, how do you protect yourself? You go get your car checked out and PPI'd and make sure that the wear is consistent, the use is consistent. I caught a Porsche once that was for sale after 4 years, the first owner put 15,000 miles on it in year 1. The second owner put 300 miles a year for 3 years and then sold it. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're a collector that's going to put 300 miles a year on a car, why would you buy a car that somebody put 15,000 miles on it? That doesn't make any sense. And you know what? I found out who rolled it back, and I found out it was rolled back from about 45,000 miles to 16. And that's bullshit. That's just what you get because people feel that they're not they should, whatever. If somebody's willing to pay more for a lower mile car, screw you. It cost me 400 bucks. I'm going to roll it back. Now, back to Ferrari, and as I said, this is not a Ferrari problem. Ferrari had the functionality in the system, but the guy who wants to roll it back will get his odometer rolled back, whether Ferrari does it, whether an independent guy does it, whether they figure out how to do it themselves. You can disconnect the odometers. There was a Lamborghini Diablo I drove once that the odometer wasn't ticking over. I didn't even know until somebody pointed it out on one of my videos because I was doing the standing mile and I played the whole thing, and they're like, oh, funny that the odometer doesn't move. And I'm like, oh shit, look at that. And you see these guys in the car scene. They're out all the time driving to every car show, doing this, always going on drives, and you just know, oh yeah, the guy's had a Diablo forever, or he has had this car forever. And you don't think about it. You don't look at his odometer. He just sells the car and he's like, oh cool, he's got 22,000 miles on it. It doesn't throw off a flag that that's inconsistent. So there are solutions to that. And those solutions are essentially what GM does now with like the Volt or anyone that's actively logging the data that's being generated by the car on a daily basis for accuracy, for maintenance schedules, for OnStar, for whatever it is. You can't trick that car. My Chevy Volt tells me exactly how many miles I drive every month. I can't reset that odometer and be like, nobody's going to get me, because they are actively tracking it. That is the only way to keep things honest at this point in time. You're never going to fix the cars from the past, but that's the only way you're going to keep things honest going forward. So back to Ferrari and my car that got rolled back. We had our very first Ferrari 360, and Jimbo, I want you to put this time code in the video so people can skip right to this if that's what they want to, if that's what they're tuning in for. We had a 360 that when you jump, and it was a fairly common problem on, I think, 360s and 430s, that if for some reason you jump it incorrectly, overvolted or whatever, it screws up the gauge cluster. And it reads 5s across the board. And we had this in our 360, our first one. It was a Euro spec car. Somebody rented it, brought it back, and it had 5s across the board. And I'm like, what the hell did you do? He jump-started the car. He obviously did it wrong. Whatever ended up happening screwed up the gauge cluster, and then it read 555,555, and it switched from miles to kilometers. So we brought it back to the dealership, and effectively they were able to go in and reset the odometer. We did the calculations, and they reset the odometer to what it was supposed to be. And that's how it's supposed to work. That was a Ferrari dealership that's why the functionality was there. They were doing something to correct a problem. But ultimately, it's the user asking for the odometer to be rolled back, because you get a good rapport with your advisor, with whoever's at the dealership when you spend millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then it requires that guy to tell Ferrari there is a reason to roll it back. They're not saying this guy wants to make more money. Ferrari doesn't benefit if a guy sells his car for $1 million more or less. They don't care. They've sold their unit and they move it. But for you to go to Ferrari and say, I want this car rolled back, you have to tell your advisor. Your advisor's like, all right. You throw your advisor money into the table, however it works, and your advisor goes and says, hey, Ferrari, this guy's gauge cluster, we jumped it, he jumped it, something went wrong, the gauge cluster is not accurate, I need a PIN code to reset the odometer. And that's essentially where the fraud takes place. It's a user and the guy who wants it rolled back. And again, you can't, Ferrari has the functionality. I don't think it was done with ill intent. It's not like Ferrari takes in cars and says, all right, roll back those odometers and throw them on the showroom floor. It doesn't work like that. And as I said, I am probably the easiest target for a rollback, because we dump tons of mileage every month on a car, and it's very easy to make that disappear. And I'm sure people in the exotic car rental industry do it. We don't, we never did, and we sold high mileage cars. It's just the way we depreciated our cars. We over depreciated them, so the mileage never really bit us in the ass. We were consistent with what the car was worth when it came time to sell it. So is this a big screw job, yeah, it sucks. It's now in the news. It's now a big deal. Should it exist? No. Should that functionality exist on Ferrari's end? Yes. Should the odometer maybe have to go back to the manufacturer? Yes. What's the downside to this? I'm pretty sure, and that lawsuit is asking for a record of every VIN number and every odometer that's rolled back. You're going to see Joe Smith in this dump. If this dump does come out, why did Joe Smith have 8 different cars that had to be rolled back? That doesn't make sense. Joe Smith is a crook, because the odds of 8 gauge clusters going bad is not very, very likely. That's like the odds of Jimbo being lucky. Jimbo don't get lucky. It's just not how the world works. But anyway, that being said, guys, I think we've sort of covered this. It's a really weird story, but it's not just Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari sort of got caught in a way because of this lawsuit, but ultimately, that guy who got kicked out of the dealership, he probably did something wrong. He may have lied to Ferrari and say, I need this car rolled back, and said, well, everybody else is doing it. You're not supposed to do it. If he didn't do it as slick as the other guys, or whatever the case may be, he was still wrong in asking for a car to be rolled back so the value could be higher. That's just the way of the world. I don't really have particular feelings as to that salesman one way or another, but I can tell you with the 10 different Ferrari dealerships I've dealt with, I've never seen any one of them proposition me to have a car rolled back. That doesn't mean they don't do it for certain clients, but that is not something that a dealership would offer or request. That may be a functionality that they have, but it's done it's supposed to be done for legitimate purposes. It's the bad apples that fuck that up. And again, it is a industry-wide, and a industry-wide as far as BMW, Mercedes, Audi, anyone who's potentially going to have money taken out of their pocket because they're using something is a candidate and is somebody who is likely to roll back a car. And I don't know what the numbers are on the traditional cars and the leased cars, et cetera, but I do know my estimation, having talked to a lot of people, and you can see it on Instagram accounts, looking at people taking photos and then looking back and seeing odometer discrepancies, that it is fairly widespread that these people in the exotic car rental space, about half roll back their cars. So protect yourself, get a PPI, make sure the mileage is consistent, and don't go out looking for a 600-mile car. Unless it was in a bubble for 10 years, assume that it's probably been rolled back. Cars generally don't trade hands owner to owner to owner through 6 or 7 owners and only have 2,400 miles on the clock. Sorry, that's just the way it is. That's my experience. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.